Welcome back to our channel, guys. Z and Abs, Abs DIY, and today we are going to show you 3 different methods on how to bleed your clutch. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find your slave cylinder, which is positioned next to your gearbox, which is this one over here on the Zafira B. Now we have, as you see, already got a pipe going through like this, and it's going into a bottle. So we're going to show you one of the old school methods. So coming on the inside, all you want to do now is you want to press the clutch, hold it and release it up slowly. And you want to keep on doing it about between 3 to 6 times. Once you've done it, you want to hold the clutch down while someone on the other side cracks open the nipple to bleed it. So whilst I've got Abs holding the clutch pedal down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 11mm and I am going to crack the bleed nipple, and then you'll see the fluid flow through the pipe over here. Abs, you holding down? Yeah. Okay, and then you're going to tighten it back up. You're going to repeat this method until you get all the air bubbles out of the system into the bottle. Now for method number 2, what you want to do is you want to get a bottle like this with fluid in it already. You want to put the pipe right to the bottom of the fluid, and you want to crack open lead nipple. Again, it is 11mm. You want to crack open as much as you can, and this time what you want to do is you want to get someone in the inside of the car to keep pressing the clutch pedal up and down, and eventually you're going to leave this open. So this could be a one-man job in reality, and you're going to see a lot of fluid coming through here and a lot of bubbles flying out. So Abs, you want to press the clutch. We're going to crack it more, and as you can see, now what it does is obviously forcing the fluid into the bottle, but when it's withdrawing it back up, it's withdrawing the fluid, not air. And you're going to keep doing it until you stop seeing bubble in the bottle or into the pipe. And as you can see, we haven't got a pause. We're constantly pressing the clutch all the way up and all the way down. So I would say this method is probably the fastest at the moment. Okay, so this is your third method, which I've not tried yet, but I have seen it on YouTube and so on and so forth. So before we try it, this is called the reverse bleeding of your clutch. So what, instead of pumping fluid out from the slave cylinder, we're going to pump fluid back into it. So you got a pipe, you have this pump bottle. I'm going to get Abs to pump it from the top. Fluid's going to go through the pipe into the slave cylinder through the bleed nipple, and it's going to flow back into the system. Now whilst we do that, you get a lot of fluid coming back up from the container, so you want a rag around it, so when it leaks, it really leaks on the rag rather than anything else. So Abs, pump it please. So as you see, fluid is going in. You'll see a lot of fluid come out from there and it leak out. That's why you got a rag there. And now this is the reversal of bleeding your clutch, and it takes about 45 seconds to a minute to bleed like this. Okay, so once you've done that, and we always had to put a tie rack because we did get some leaks over there which we'll clean up later on. We're going to remove the pipe, tighten the bleed nipple, and see how the clutch is. Okay, once you've tightened up the bleed nipple and you remove the pipe out of the way, let's see if it's bled, or let's see if the clutch has that resistance. And yes, perfect. So that was probably the quickest way to bleed your clutch. Look at the resistance. I mean, the first method is old school. Obviously, if I go over it one more time and summarize it, so you pump the clutch up a few times, hold it down, crack the bleed nipple open, let the fluid flow to tighten it back up, come back here again, and you need 2 people for that. Second way, you need 1 person. You crack the bleed nipple open, have a bottle filled up with brake fluid, have a pipe going down to the bottle, and just keep pumping your clutch, until you see all the fluid bubbles come out the fluid, and there's a consistent fluid flow. Now that again is time consuming, and it is a one-man job. Now the last method, which we've just done now, is the reversal. So you crack the bleed nipple open, pump fluid through the bleed nipple into the clutch system, 30-second pump. When you see the fluid come out of the reservoir, stop, tighten the bleed nipple, come to the inside and look at the resistance of the clutch. This is just perfect. So this is the best method so far that we've ever used. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you in the next one.